Welcome to our global news update. Today we delve into a series of significant developments from the United States, where President Donald Trump's administration faces scrutiny over its economic, immigration, and foreign policies. From tariffs that burden American consumers to judicial setbacks on migration and controversial digital freedom initiatives, we cover the latest. First, to trade. A recent study by the Kiel Institute for the World Economy reveals that the high tariffs imposed by US President Donald Trump are almost entirely paid by American importers and consumers. According to the Institute's investigation, US citizens bear 96% of the cost. Julian Hinz, the Kiel Institute's research director, stated unequivocally, "The tariffs are an own goal." He debunked the notion that foreign nations absorb these costs, emphasizing that data shows the opposite. Americans are paying the bill. Despite these substantial tariffs against dozens of countries, the US trade deficit barely decreased last year. The Department of Commerce reported yesterday that imports of goods and services surpassed exports by approximately $901.5 billion. This figure is only about $2 billion less than in 2024. The deficit primarily stems from goods trade. It increased by 2.1% to $1,241 billion, while the surplus in services trade rose by 8.9% to $339.5 billion. President Trump initiated numerous tariffs after taking office in January 2025, including those targeting China and the European Union. The Republican president has repeatedly asserted that his country is being exploited in trade, using this as justification for his protectionist policies. For instance, a 15% tariff has been applied to nearly all goods from the European Union since last August. Shifting to immigration, a U.S. district judge in California has overturned a decision that supported the Trump administration's policy of mass migrant detention. The judge yesterday nullified a ruling by the Board of Immigration Appeals, which had endorsed the practice of detaining thousands of individuals arrested in raids without the possibility of bail. The judge, appointed by former Democratic President Joe Biden, sharply criticized the administration's conduct as shameless, accusing it of attempting to persist with a campaign of illegal actions. This ruling follows the administration's failure to comply with the previous court order from last December, which had declared the underlying policy unlawful. The core issue is a new interpretation of immigration law, where the administration expanded the definition of applicants for admission to include non-citizens already residing in the country, thereby enabling their detention without bail. The judge further justified her stronger stance by citing instructions from the top immigration judge to colleagues to disregard her December ruling and continue adhering to the appeals board's decision. The Department of Homeland Security, responsible for border security, and the Department of Justice, which oversees the appeals board, have not yet commented. In a move raising eyebrows internationally, the US government is reportedly developing an online portal named Freedom.gov. According to insiders, this platform aims to help citizens in Europe and elsewhere bypass national internet blockages. The portal would also provide access to content that respective governments classify as hate speech or terror propaganda. Washington views this as an anti-censorship measure. Sarah Rogers, Undersecretary for Public Diplomacy, leads the project, which was initially slated for presentation at the Munich Security Conference last week, but was postponed. The website is expected to utilize a virtual private network function, allowing users to mask their origin and browse as if they were in the United States, with their activities untracked. However, concerns exist within the State Department itself, with ministry lawyers reportedly warning against the initiative, fearing it could strain relations with European allies by implicitly encouraging citizens to disregard local laws. The State Department, when asked, denied having a specific program to circumvent censorship in Europe, rejecting claims of a postponed announcement or lawyer concerns in that specific form. However, its written statement affirmed that digital freedom is a priority for the State Department, and this includes the dissemination of technologies for privacy protection and censorship circumvention like VPNs. Shifting to another aspect of foreign policy, reports indicate the U.S. is withdrawing all its forces, approximately 1,000 soldiers, from Syria within the next 2 months. This development, reported by the Wall Street Journal, follows the U.S. military's clearance of a strategically vital site last week, which was then handed over to the Syrian army. This is seen as a potential sign of improved relations between Washington and Damascus, possibly enabling a broader withdrawal. U.S. troops in Syria have primarily focused on combating the terrorist militia known as the Islamic State. Finally, President Trump has once again voiced strong opposition to the proposed return of the strategically significant Chagos Islands in the Indian Ocean from Great Britain to Mauritius. Writing yesterday on his online platform, Truth Social, Trump suggested that if nuclear talks with Tehran fail and the U.S. were to attack Iran, American forces might utilize the Diego Garcia military base, which is jointly operated with Great Britain on the Chagos Islands. He urged Prime Minister Keir Starmer to ensure control over Diego Garcia is not lost, adding, "We will always be ready, willing, and able to fight for Great Britain, but they must be strong in the face of wokeism and other problems. Do not give away Diego Garcia." These diverse developments highlight the ongoing shifts and tensions within American domestic and international policy under the current administration. We will continue to monitor these stories as they unfold. Stay tuned for more updates on this developing story. This video was generated using artificial intelligence. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more updates. See you next time.